what are the usual concerns and questions that parents often come to you with? How CBSE is different from the other syllabus that schools generally offer, and does CBSE has an edge over the others?
It really hurts to, sometimes hear people say that jo kuch nahi kar sakta, they come to teaching. That is the norm which people believe in.
Hi, welcome to Yellow Slate, your very own school search engine that helps you find the best schools for your kid based on various filters and parameters. Today, we have Ms. Divjot Kaur, who's the principal of Manav Rachna International School, which is in Charmwood locality, Faridabad. Thank you so much for joining us, ma'am. So, ma'am, before we go into the finer details about this school in specific, can you tell us what are the usual concerns and questions that parents often come to you with before joining their kid in the school? And what is your piece of advice for them while choosing a right school for their kid?
Okay, so any new parent who comes to school wants to know, is aware of the curriculum the school is following, because they do a little bit of recce before they come. So they know about the curriculum that is being followed. They would like to know how that curriculum is followed. It is the same book and it can be taught in different ways, and it can be made very interactive. So what is the ideology of the school matters to the people. So they would like to know, if it is a CBSE school, how much of scholastic and post-scholastic footprint do we have outside in the market? How are the children given opportunities for interactive learning, experiential learning? How are the classrooms suited to their child? What is the class strength? So what happens here is that if, I feel that a very important component in schooling also entails the number of children in the classroom. And we per se follow this policy that we would not keep the children to more than 20 in any segment. So our rooms are very big and spacious, yet we have fewer number in classes, so that, there is a connect between the teacher and the taught. And that is what we are known for. Anyone talks of the Charmwood school, they would say that there is a lot of warmth with the mentors that the children share. So that helps to build up a good relationship with the teacher. The child is able to very openly talk about his doubts, clear his concepts. The teacher is able to connect and know what the child is doing. They're not lost in a group. So that is one thing the parent needs to be assured about: the class strength, the curriculum they know about, then how the curriculum is followed. So we have a set pattern, we have an annual plan, we have a month plan, we have a weekly plan. So we are very organized with that. And how that is executed is not dictatorial. The children have a say, the parents have a say. In fact, we even involve parents in so many things, because the stakeholders should be given a voice in their learning. And then the parents would like to know about the infrastructure of the school. If I talk of the infrastructure, they would get to know what are the sports facilities, where are the labs, where is the library. And then we have, we keep ourselves updated with the latest in the field. So we have a media lab, we even have a Maker Shala lab, which is the Atal Tinkering Lab. So future skills and sustainability, the media involvement of the children, learning different skills, visual arts lab, the performing arts lab. Then we have a special center for children with special needs. So all these components which make the school ecosystem are all very important for a parent to know.
Great. And since you started off with the syllabus as one of the prime aspects for a parent to consider, can you throw some light on how CBSE is different from the other syllabus that schools generally offer, and does CBSE has an edge over the others?
See, we have two curriculums which are very famous in India. We have more schools of CBSE and ICSE. And if I just first differentiate between these two, then CBSE always had more focus on science and maths. ICSE always had more focus on languages. It was the colonial heritage left to us before we had the CBSE schools. But CBSE schools get an edge over ICSE because, people who transfer from one state to another, they get the Kendriya Vidyalayas, they get the Navodaya Vidyalayas, and many other private schools who are affiliated to CBSE. Plus, CBSE also gives them an edge when it comes to competitions like NEET, JEE, and other competitions of the national stature. ICSE, I somehow feel, leaves a very good foundation for languages. That's also, there is no board which is bad as such. But earlier, when people used to compare CBSE with IB or IGCSE, they would say that IB is very experiential learning, practical learning. But I feel that it is not so. CBSE, good public schools do everything that IB school does. It is the same experiential learning we follow at 1/3 the cost less. In IGCSE and IB schools, you pay 3 times the cost. And good public schools who follow CBSE or ICSE do fair justice, do good justice to experiential learning. So we have, if I talk of NEP, the way NEP is talking of experiential learning or one foreign language, we have always had it since ages in all good public schools. We were never bookish in our approach to teaching.
Got it. And while syllabus is quite important, it is actually the teachers who justifies the syllabus to the core. So can you, being in a position where you can hire teachers and have a say in while hiring teachers, what sort of virtues do you generally look out for while getting a teacher on board in your school?
We do follow norms as laid by CBSE. So a teacher needs to be a postgraduate in the subject that she has done a master's in. Then she needs to do a B.Ed degree, that is the basic degree for teacher education. So other than having the subject competency, the teacher should be competent to make her subject very experiential, practical, interactive. It cannot be one-way teaching. It has to be the child as an equal participant in the discussion, in the learning. If I talk of my school, then we are very particular about taking an experienced teacher most of the time. And, any experienced person would come to you if you are judicious with your pay scales. So since they are well looked after, we do end up with taking good teachers. And it really hurts to, sometimes hear people say that anyone who cannot do jo kuch nahi kar sakta, they come to teaching. That is the norm which people believe in. But it is not so. A teacher's job entails too many things. Not only is it the subject mastery, you need to be building that rapport with the children, to deal with their personal issues, their psychological issues, their social issues. So you need to be a very mature person. So you are parenting them in school. You are equal participants in their parenting journey. So there is a lot of responsibility which goes to the teacher's kitty. So we always look for a teacher who is very mature, competent, very empathetic, can socially adapt. So these are the other qualities and virtues that we would look in for a teacher.
Great, ma'am. And in this day and age of AI and AI tools, and especially after the pandemic, the involvement of technology has become a lot more in the education space. So we are very curious to know how Manav Rachna is embracing this entire change in the education system with technology coming into space. So can you tell us more about that?
If I talk of the infrastructural aspect, first of all the rooms are fully equipped with the interactive whiteboards. The interactive whiteboards are loaded with a Tata Edge software, which gives them access to a lot of component which can be shown to the child online. So, you really have a 3D model of a lab working in the class. If you're teaching somebody on the functioning of a human heart, you can, through AI, show the actual palpitation of a heart and the functioning of the heart right there on the IWB board through the software. Other than that, the teachers have access to the latest technology and they can incorporate their teaching with so many videos, their recordings, the best practices for conduct of so many skills into the classroom. Other than that, children have access to very fine labs and the computer room. So there is a flexibility in our approach. We are not very rigid with the rules which fix the children to the classroom. There is a lot of movement. They can access technology. They can explore avenues. They have their mentors as guides who help them. So many children get their own personal devices which they access to research on a particular topic which is given. Then many projects are aligned with teaching. Many social concerns are aligned with co-scholastic development. So all that requires technology and it is fully integrated into the curriculum.
Got it. And ma'am, since you spoke about experiential learning as a very important aspect, can you explain more about that in layman terms with an example, how experiential learning is brought into the classes these days at Manav Rachna?
See, it happens with all subjects. Supposing let's begin with a toddler group. So if a toddler group child is taught number line, 1, 2, and 3. So it is a vague term. What does the concept of 1 mean? So you're shown an object. You may have Ganit Mala hung in the classroom, tied to 2 pegs, teaching you how counting happens and how counting happens in 1s and 2s and 3s through different colors, through different beads, through different articles. Supposing you have to do addition, then you have, we use maths lab paraphernalia to tell them how to understand what is counting about, what is multiplication about, why tables have to be crammed and how they are calculated, whether it is continuous addition or how division happens. So that is hands-on learning. Similarly, experiential learning would be, if you're learning the language, you first hear it, how it is pronounced in the computer lab through your headphones. The teacher is giving the right pronunciation to the child and all of them are listening to her. Then they speak the same thing. So they are learning while they hear the right pronunciation. Similarly, when you do experimentation and you tell children this happens this way, but you show it to them physically in the lab or through AI on that interactive whiteboard where a 3D dimensional picture can be shown or an experiment can be conducted. So that is what experiential learning is about.
Great, ma'am. And for all the parents who are looking for an admission in Manav Rachna, can you tell us the admission cycle, like in which part of the year should they come and reach out to the school to get the admission at Manav Rachna?
Primarily, we start receiving the applications around December and the new session begins from 1st of April. So we know the exact vacancies in each class somewhere in Feb when children give their applications that they are relocating or they're shifting base even in the NCR somewhere. Then if the school is far, sometimes they switch over to our school only. Then the applications we route through our channels. But if the child is, shifting to another city or another town, then they put in the applications in Feb and we know the exact number of vacancies that we have at that time. And new entrants, who have to enter the school for the first time, they start putting in a request around December. And for the entry-level classes, we do not have any admission test that we don't put them through that rigor. We have our own strategy of assessing that they are school ready, that they do not have special needs, and we are able to align them to our philosophy. Then admission is considered.
Great, ma'am. Thank you so much for coming forward and giving us your time, and a lot of insights and opinions that you shared will be of great help for parents who are looking for good schools in your locality. Thank you once again for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Thank you.